Okay, please be back with more Epigraph. I really enjoyed this game. I reviewed my notes from last episode, and I think I have some ideas of where to look next here. Just kind of to remind what we're doing here. We need to get answers for each of these sides, and I don't know the format for most of these, so the easiest thing to assume this is to just add this number to this number, but it didn't do anything when I tried doing it like right to left, outside to inside, so I might have to putz with that a little bit. This one reads as the most ancient god. So I think if I read through all the documents and try to find the name of the oldest god, that should get me that answer. And that's going to be a 3-character name. Not sure. God's house. It should be 3 characters because of the outside. There aren't too many 3-character names, so that should help me a lot, actually. If I just look for places where I haven't translated it and see if it's 3 characters long. And then this is something wise person. So wise person, God house. Where does God live? And what's the name of the oldest god? And do math here. So if it's just adding them, let me write this down. I think I tried this last time. That's 465. So that could be this. Unless if it only accepts it once I have all of them right. Or it could be... Oh, that would still be that. Or it could be this. I guess if someone's familiar with this game and knows for a fact whether it only accepts it once you have all 4 of them right, just go ahead and let me know. Just so I don't keep putzing with this to try to figure out what other things it could be. But adding it makes the most sense to me. All right, so we have... Novuku is 3 letters, or 3 characters. That could be where the god's house is. Maybe this is a way I can rule it out if I can even see if Novuku is listed under God's house. It's not. There is no no. So that wouldn't be it. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball 3-character words here. Kishiji is like a... whatever the fuck that is. I mean, it's... person, child, house, village, something to do with how city, maybe. Speak this. Here's another 3. Put in name for anything that's 3 characters. Clean that up. In case I see it somewhere else. Okay, I confused myself. This said that this was going to be... Was it the same name on both of these? Is. Okay. Let me put a, like a digit in there. Or it's a 3-character word. I guess I don't know for sure that it's a name, but so far, most of the time, 3-character words have been names. Let me test that that's... Now, this is a verb, so... But I guess maybe can I confirm by whether or not there's a diacritic above it? Because there is a diacritic above this one. And we established that inverted triangle is... Wait, is that an inverted triangle? They've all been inverted. Maybe I just didn't write it down as inverted in my notes. They've all been inverted. Okay. I'm just panicking for a second that there's a difference between a regular one and an inverted one, but I guess in my notes I just used a regular triangle emoji. Singular noun. So it's probably Well, I guess I can't say for sure that it's a name. This one doesn't have one, which is interesting. So maybe it's not one. And tell me singular versus plural. I don't know. I'll come back to it. I just want to look. I'm just scanning everywhere to look for other things that are 3. It looks like a lot of the ones that are 3 are definitely a verb because of the tense indicator. Wise person, king. Which bestowed. Now, unfortunately, king here, unless if that's... I don't think I can get away with 3-character words are definitely names. I was hoping they were just because these all have to be 3-character answers. But I guess I could still look at like what characters are possible for those and then try to like fit them into the tablet to see if it would make sense for it to have something to do with a wise person or something to do with God's house or something to do with the oldest god. I think very early on, yeah, Pagomaru, we started with a couple like 4-character things, which are names of places and like names of kings. Shori. Let's see. This person. Bakuzadi of Makudo. I think this is this on the Nami? Is that on the artifact? Okay, something wise person? The Nari are... Yeah, the related language. Neighboring Shori language. So these are the Shori words, and we're learning Nari. Right. It's also the name of the people. Speaker to the gods, basically. Spokesperson for the gods. King of kings. Right, so this is like saying a bunch of nice things about this guy. This guy is the great king Bakuzadi, child of Makudovu, king of kings, spokesperson to the gods, something of the Nari. Let's say like chosen, blessed. If it's like a thing that's celebrating there, I can see if that word shows up anywhere else. It would be nice just as a quality of life thing to be able to like double click on this word and have it show me all the locations where it exists so I don't have to like brute force check it every time. So chosen, blessed, wise person. Do we know the name of a wise person? I don't know that we do. Oldenari. Got a couple words here that I don't have any clue for. Wise person, Tuki. Govu could be like gift, maybe. Like, well, if it was gift, it would have a noun over it, so it must be something else. Others. Shori. Really like chosen / blessed of the Nari. I think that's something like that is probably right, or it's probably right enough. I guess unless if there's more than one wise man from among these documents, it doesn't matter what kind of wise man he is. If I can find a name that's associated with a wise man, then I have the answer, right? God, contact, language, speak, work, stop. So we need to find. Okay, so let's look for places that mention gods. Great gift of language, God, person bestowed. Oh, this must be our first god because I have the number 1. I bet that's first. 1 ma. Okay, that's something. Jukati. First god. Let's try to plug that in. Let's see if all of those. Okay, there's Ju. If they're all on here, I'll feel a little bit more confident in guessing it. Ka and T. Yeah, I bet that's right. Okay. So that I feel pretty good about. This I feel pretty good about, although I guess I don't know if the disposition is 465 outer to inner. I guess I also don't know if the disposition in this one is outer to inner, but at least that's only a single state that I can brute force with every input. I guess I don't know for sure that this is addition, but I assume it's addition because this is addition. It just, they didn't put the this and this makes this thing. It would be weird for them to require me to do some other kind of math without setting it up in some way, which is why I think addition is probably a good guess. Okay, so I feel really good about that because that fit first. I don't know if we're going to see the word first anywhere else. I don't see digits anywhere else. Honestly, there's like 12 here, 7. That's the stars. This could be how I get the homes of the gods. Gods. Kuvuno. I think I already checked that, right? That was the first thing I did. We wanted the word no in there, or the sound no in there. Yeah, there's no. I think what I need to do is I need to write down all of these sounds. And whenever there's a 3-letter word, regardless of what it is, just start checking to see if it can be one of these. Just so I can like narrow down possible answers and rule out ones that are definitely not correct, right? So I'm writing them down on my text file over here. Okay. So Kuvuno, say not house, just for me to mark it. That's a verb, so it's not going to be that. So I don't think so. Bestowed is a verb, so it shouldn't be that. Also, I don't have show in that list anyway. Makes another bestowed. Show, row, show. Speak would require boo, which I don't have in there. Also wouldn't make sense as the home of the gods. Continue. Work. We. As I'm reading these out, I'm looking at my list to see if all 3 characters exist in there. Ravoko. No. Already check speak. Contact. Dogimu. Actually, I didn't even think of doing that. I probably could have pounded through this much faster if I had started by looking for these characters elsewhere, because I've already like eliminated every 3-letter word on here and on the obelisk. PBJA. Can't do that. Bakuzati and Makudova are both already too long. Of Gubugi. Already checked speak. Okay, statues ruled out. Kishiji. Okay, it's not that, so not home. Mupuju? That is the right Ju. But there's no Mu, so that's also not it. Okay. I'm getting nervous that I'm gonna check all of these and none of the 3-character words will be valid, which I have no idea what to do if that happens. We're running out because this is just math. It's not gonna be equals. Va is on there, but Vu is not. Shirabi. No, there's no Shu. Okay. I already checked this one. Kuvu is not on there. I think I've checked that one like 4 times now because I'm like, that's got to be it, right? God's house, it's up in space. Kishiji? No. It's exactly the same on both tablets, isn't it? So these are interesting. This tablet, so one of the tablets is trying to teach other people math or record math, and this tablet is trying to record what words mean. So this is like educational in some way. So speak this something. I don't know if there's anything I can do with that. Okay, so I'm fucked. Unless if I just missed a 3-letter word. I think I've checked every 3-letter word that's on these, and best case scenario, I have 1 character in common. What else could account for that? I think I need to do the wise man one. Maybe I'll get a breakthrough while I'm working on that. So, chosen wise man. You write these guys down and I'll do the same process. Jo, Ga, Mi, Shu, Kuva, No, Raja. There is a no in there. What's the one that I keep checking for no? Star one? No. No Vu or Ku. No, there's a Ku, but no Vu. Okay, well that's the closest I've come in terms of having characters in common on a 3-letter word, that there's 2 instead of just 1, so. Ji, Shi, Ki. No. Shu, I have Shu. Shu, Ra, and B. I have all 3 of them for this one. All right, so if this is the name of the chosen wise man, Shirabi. Speak this something something. It's like Shirabi is the author of these tablets or something. It's as good a guess as I've got. I'll keep checking because I still have to find the House of the Gods. So Shu Ra B. Although the order could be, I mean, it could start in the middle, I guess, but there's not that many that I'd have to brute force. So I guess doing it this way is a smart way to do it, so that if the player isn't sure which order to do it in, they just have to do one state flip. That feels pretty good. I feel pretty good about that being Shirabi. I feel pretty good about this being 465, but I guess I can't start testing it until I've tried everything. This I'm almost positive on, right? Unless if I put it in the wrong order. This is on the obelisk. Yeah, because that's the number 1 with some kind of additional character. 1 god has got to be the first god, because I haven't encountered a 3-character name near god, and it all fits on that artifact, so I can say that that's probably correct. So where the fuck is God's house? God, I hope I didn't just like scroll past a 3-letter word. There's so many to check. All right, let's be really slow. We'll go through one more time. It would be really cool if when you solve this, it's like there's enough information here for you to get the answer to the puzzle, but there's still a bunch of words that we never get the answer to, or that aren't able to be determined with certainty. And it's like the way you think about structuring a game like this, if you're planning to make a language game, is you kind of work backwards from the solution, and you make sure that like you can get Shirabi. I bet that before you know what the verbs are and translate everything with the Rosetta Stone, I bet that there are several 3-letter words that are all legitimate on each of the sides of the cube, and the way that you basically are ruling them out. Okay, anyway, we were going to go slowly. So, Shirabi, speak. It's definitely not... I want it to be this so badly, but it's definitely not that. We checked makes equal. It's not digits. We know that. It's not bestowed. The problem is there's not even a single word that's close. I mark this one as not it. Mark this one as not it. It's not king, because I don't have B or Ja. And it wouldn't make sense for the home of the gods. Bakuzati's too long, Makudovu's too long. We checked these pretty thoroughly, I think, but... Dogimu, no. Oh no. I could see them being really like fancy with this, and like the home of the gods is our home or something like that, right? The village. I guess it could be like a temple. My thought is that it's going to be like a star or a planet or something. Sequel bestowed. Star again, which we marked as not the house. Yeah, I've checked all the 3-letter words. So, like, if I've checked all of them... Next thing I can do is, like, put a unique character on each of the possible answers here just to see what other words that character appears in. What kinds of characters can I do? Oh, these are already full. Why don't I do like parenthesis? That way I can quickly scan through everything to see anywhere any of these characters appear, in case it's like a combination of 2 letters or 2 words or something. Oops, shit. Fuck, what was that? God damn it. DE? I gotta watch my own VOD really quick. You might hear me talking in the VOD. I'm gonna be careful. DE was what it was. Okay. All right. Looking for that parenthesis. Ari. Uvu. Roni. I feel like it's got to be a 3-character thing, though, right? Because, like, there's nothing... Every word is at least 2 characters. I guess it could be, like, part of a 4-character word, maybe, but that seems unlikely. Duma, Karo, Shika, Nuna. Yeah, best case scenario is I have 1 character in common. If I had one that was 2, I guess we could review, there's some of the words over here that, there's like linguistic drift where like certain sounds become other sounds. But I thought I'd already accounted for all of that in my annotations. Makudovu. I guess Ju and V, this is the first word that I have that has, it's a 2-letter word, but it does have 2 characters in it that are technically on that document. Will be. I don't know what single word I would combine that with to get something legitimate. Ma isn't valid, is it? That was the suffix to make this mean for. Oh, it is. Interesting. Will be ma, because that's the only time I've seen something where both characters are on the artifact. I don't know if I can apply this counting suffix. Like, what does that even mean? If this is a counting word, like 1 ma means first god, what does will ma mean? Why would that be the god's home? I feel like you get really abstract with it and try to imagine, like, God is everywhere because it's like a meaning of like is or to be or whatever. Isma. I guess I could always try it. But I feel like that's way too huge of a logical leap. This game has generally been pretty good about not requiring me to be inside the brain of the developer. First God has both Zhu and Ka in it, but I think those are already spoken for. I guess it could be like the House of the Gods is similarly named to the first god, so... Yeah, that didn't really give me any breadcrumbs here. Two very weak breadcrumbs. Juka something. Juka house, maybe? But house is already 2 words or 2 characters, so that's already not going to work. And neither of the characters in house or village. I was hoping one of these would have the little parentheses icon on it, but no dice. Okay, I feel pretty stuck. The only other thing I can think to try is pronunciation differences, so... Okay, gift. Beja King. There are some 3-character words here that I haven't figured out, right? So there's Fabeja, which ended up becoming Phoebeja, Z-H-A. Oh, it would be really funny if it's this. That's fucking brilliant if that's right. I guess it could also be no Fojo, but I think I've already ruled out no, right? Well, there is Joe, but there's no foe. Has foe had any linguistic drift elsewhere? Where else do I see? The Beja, so that would change what the F was, right? Could be a P. We don't have a po or a foe. So is God's house the temple or is God's house the sky? I really hope it's this because that's so fucking good if it is. Right, so a lot of this I don't know if I wrote down in my text file what the different sounds were. Okay, gift. Goja is how I got village. So Goja here is village and it's on here is village, and that's how I got J becomes ZH. So if it's ZH, that should be ZHO, which I have. I think this is right. I think we're on the right track. W, Wabo was conquer and became Vabo. Was that had to have been on here, right? Vabo. So is it Jove? Do I have a V and I have a Va. Now I think, was it with I that I said that I and E were totally degenerate with each other? I had collapsed E and I sounds into the same sound, always E or I. So this could be V. So Jove. It should just be not, right? Oh, that feels so good. I feel like I had it. Why is that not it? What did I fuck up? Did I have to do everything backwards? Try flipping the locations of all these. So this is Shirabi. Let's try doing Shirabi instead. Let's try doing most ancient god is Jukati, so this would be U and this would be T. Then we'd switch these. This would be... Oh, I was really hoping that was gonna pop or do something when I did that. Fuck. This feels so correct, though. God damn it. Let me put it back to what it was before. This was... Jovena. This one was Ducati. Hope I didn't just make like a stupid like recording error here and that like one of these digits I just happened to transpose and it's like last episode, so I don't remember it and can't track it down. Well, let's think about it. So the only one that there's no ambiguity with Shirabi. At least Shirabi fits on this side, and I haven't found any other words that can fit on this side, so that probably is right. This one is probably 465. I mean, I guess it could, it can't be 267 minus 198 because then that won't be a 3-digit number. And I don't have any way to depict 0. So it's got to be adding them, and multiplying them would be too much. And the answer is a 3-digit number. So I feel I'm like 95% confident on this one, 95% confident on this one. Can I say 100% for this one? I did jump to it pretty quickly, but... What is this thing? Ducati. Make sure there's not like a right-facing versus left-facing problem here, you know? So I feel 90%, 95%, 95%, and this one is it's too perfect because I haven't had to use this one in so long. To have to come back to it at the very end of the puzzle would be so elegant and good. And it's the only time that I actually have the characters on here, and it requires that I know enough about the language to be able to get... And Sky being God's house is great. I want it to be the answer so badly. I'm going to be sad if it's not. Let me look through my notes. Do I have any other... Which of these words... I guess maybe the bit is that, like... Do I have na or no the N sound covered anywhere else? Because they could have done a thing where, like, all 3 of the characters in the word sky have linguistic drifted into a different sound, right? We never had temple... Temple had an N sound in it, and hide had an N sound in it, but I don't think I have any reason to know hide. I could look for Kono. Put 2 of those on there so I can spot any instances of Ko here. Uko. Uko. Mokobo. Seeing if the word hide is on here somewhere. I think it would be elegant if some of these don't get used and are just red herrings. Because I shouldn't check that because I know all the text on that, so it's not going to help me. Uko again. No, it's not going to help me. All right, well, the only thing I can guess... Yes, I'm positive that that's Joe. And I'm positive that that's V. And needing to learn that that was V was interesting because I had to both learn that the W became a V and that the E and the I became a single degenerate vowel. But this I'm just taking for granted that it's na, so I could just try everything else. Because it could have, like, become ni, I guess. Oh, I thought it did something for a second. I was just dragging it by accident. Yeah. Unless if I have to try everything else from the other loadout that I had done, right? Well, let's see. There's... If we assume this is where the problem is... And if we're talking about linguistic drift... We only know the Shori word for sky. So we tried... I guess we can pick an anchor letter and then try every other combination of weird things for that anchor letter. But we know, like, broadly what the word is supposed to kind of look like. I guess Zhou could have become Ju. It could be Juwena. No. Okay. V could have become Va. Juvana. Na could become Ni, I guess. Or maybe Ma. Whoa! I'm glad that happened, like, instantly. I feel like I wasn't supposed to brute force that last one, but I don't know how I was supposed to get... So what was it, actually? It was Ju rather than Joe, and it was Ma rather than Na? Just based on linguistic drift, I guess? And then you get a little diamond thingy at the end. That's cool. This is a really cool game. I really, really, really dig it. You know, linguistic games are completely my shit. If you ever find another one, feel free to put it on the schedule. I'll play these until I die. They're always good. I feel like the people who are interested in making linguistics games are generally also good game designers, unless if they're the lingo game designer. Hide is on the mural to hint at the drift. Oh, where is it? Does, like, N become M? Kumo. I see. So Kono becomes Kumo. Okay. And we can infer hide because there's, like, these guards coming and he's, like, faced away from them. We hid it from them. Okay. All right. I get it. That's cute. It might be a little bit too much of a jump without some other thing to connect into that. If I had, like, another piece of information to get me in there. I don't think there's any other words other than sky where you have to infer drift for different sounds in the same word. It being on sky, I think, is great. I think think what they should have done, if I were to make one change in this game, I would say that when you put in these other ones, it should lock in, like the side of the tablet should light up. I know they want to do it so that you only get the answer if you're 100% positive about everything. But that way, when you got here, if they're trying to bait you to see Jovina, for it to tell you that you're wrong would be surprising, right? But here I'm just like, well, I don't know if this is wrong or the other three sides are wrong. But if I knew that I could focus on this and try to track it down, maybe I would have had a better chance without having to brute force it. But no, it's a really cool game. I had a great time with it. Thank you for sharing, and feel free to keep sharing linguistic games like this because I love it. Anything like this, Heaven's Vault, fantastic stuff.